Hey, Shalom. I want to give all praises unto YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, QADASH. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Blessing and salutation unto the elect of Yasharahla, as well as the hopeful elect. The Akim out there enduring this truth across the four corners of the earth. Teaching and preaching through the spirit of YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI in truth and sincerity, as well as the men and women that follow, and those who might look like the other nations, but are of the nation of Israel on your father's side, via Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, and I wanted to just do a quick lesson, man. It's, I had the guy had sent me the break, and I came back. He looked at his watch. I'm like, hey, I thought I was actually late, but he was like, oh no, I was telling you go ahead and take a little bit more time, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So when I looked at the time and everything, I'm like, oh, well, shoot, I got an opportunity to get a lesson out. So when I said that, it reminded me of this scripture here. This is Ecclesiasticus 4:20. It says, observe the opportunity and beware of evil, and be not ashamed when it concerneth thy soul. Because you can get into the point where you'll feel some type of way where you want to fit in, or you want to run with the crowd, so to speak. But at the end of the day, us being in this truth, we're automatically outcast, so observing the opportunity, I looked at it like this was an opportunity for me to do a lesson, to lay my treasures up in heaven. Okay, because at the end of the day, that's what our soul, what concerneth our souls. Okay, because you can have money in this world, you can have a nice car, you can have a nice crib, but there's none of that can go with you if the Lord calls you up. All right, none of that can go with you if salvation comes. Okay, not even this flesh is going to go with you. So, as the scriptures say, is lay our treasures up in heaven. All right, let me grab that real quick. This is Matthew 6:19. It says, lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, your cars, your houses, gold, even silver, money, platinum, whatever the case is. Okay. It says, where moth and rust doeth corrupt. And that even goes into your degrees, your careers, professions, whatever the case is. All right. Pretty much don't put too much investing into that stuff. Okay, like it says, where moth and rust doeth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. Hey, you can have a woman and she can commit adultery. All right, you can have a job and they can fire you. You can have a car and they can get totaled. You can have a house and the foundation, like there's things that can happen to these things that we have upon earth, man. Okay, but I'm gonna continue. It says, but lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, right, where neither moth nor rust doeth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through and steal. The spiritual investment that we're making into heaven by doing our lessons, rehearsing the righteous acts, taking the low, all right, being buffeted for our faults. Okay, wait, let me see how it goes. Because I don't want to mess it up, but it's like right there. Righteousness sake. Should be in Peter's. The brother just brought it out. Yes, suffer. Yep. It says, 1 Peter 3:14. But, and if ye suffer for righteousness' sake, happy are ye, and be not afraid of their terror. Neither be troubled, but sanctify the Lord in your hearts, and be ready. This is not the one. Let me see. 1 Peter 2:18. Servants, be subject to your masters with all fear, not only to the good and gentle, but also to the froward. Right? Just be, keep in order. Okay. It says, for this is thankworthy if a man for conscience sake, toward the Most High, endure grief, suffering wrongfully, right? Because we're in this truth, we become a target, all right, to these evil spirits. So these evil spirits get on people and bother us. These evil spirits throw a fork under your tire and cause you to have a flat. Just things happen, man. Okay? On the highways and the byways, you possibly getting into scuffles, getting things thrown at you, people threatening you. All right? That's suffering wrongfully because we're doing the right things. We're taking the low, right? We know we can lash out on somebody, but through working on our character, patience, and virtue and things of that, we don't escalate a situation. We try to de-escalate a situation. We use prudence. We use wisdom. Okay, be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. All right. It says, for what glory is it if when ye be buffeted for your faults, ye shall take it patiently? Right? That's what's supposed to happen. Okay. But if when ye do well and suffer for it, ye take it patiently, this is acceptable with the Most High. So that's an investment right there. All right. The Lord has a spiritual bank. And when we do our works and we overcome our situations through opportunity, that's an investment. He'll accept that. All right. And the thing is, that's the only type of currency, for lack of better words, that he accepts in his bank. I was looking for a better word that fits, but that's the only currency that he accepts is faith, grace, mercy, godliness, virtue, discipline, all right, so on and so forth. That's the type of currency that he accepts into his banks. And upon doing these things of charity, I gotta throw that one in there, because charity covers a multitude of sins, right? Alms and things of that. It says it helps you in a day of affliction, man. Okay, you're gonna have your ups and your downs, but how much are you willing to invest in YAHAWASHI opposed to how much you invest in yourself, how much you invest into this world, how much you invest into your family, how much you invest into your job, so on and so forth. Okay? Let me see if that's it for the Matthews. I think that is it. 6 and 20. Nope, 21. It says, for where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. And that's a beautiful thing, because that's where your mind is. That's what what you're thinking about, what's on your mind, That's what's constantly giving you. It's just like being at work, but you got shit going on outside of work and you're not mentally at work, right? You can hit the highways and not mentally be there. Even me personally, I don't like to just do lessons. Sometimes you kind of be, down in the spirit and you need to, you need a kick in the ass, for lack of better words. All right. But I don't want to just do one like, I ain't dead. Well, let me just do anything, Sometimes you can do that. You go off of the spirit, but if you're constantly thinking about this thing, man, you're going to constantly be in the spirit. Okay. This is Psalms 1 and 2. It says, but I'm gonna go to 1. It says, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. Why? Because he has no dealings with them. All right. He similar to Lot, man. He vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. Okay, verse 2, but his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doeth he meditate day and night. So you're looking forward to what can please YAHAWASHI opposed to what pleases you, what pleases anybody, man. Okay. Let me jump back into this. I gotta run up in here, and call all YAHAWASHI that he gave me a longer break, because I wanted to do a lesson this morning. I wanted to do a lesson, but I wanted to read the article before I did the lesson. And that's what I'm saying. I don't want to just read a article title and just do a lesson off of it. No, I want to get into the article and dissect it so I'm comfortable in doing the lesson, is what I was saying, just not doing anything. Ecclesiastes 4 and 21 It says, for there's a shame that bringeth sin, and there's a shame which is glory and grace. And, you know, don't be ashamed to represent Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, because at the end of the day, that's all that we have, man. You know? So let me get back up in here. Lord willing, you was edified, and Lord willing, we allowed to endure to the end. Once again, I want to give all praises unto Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI BAHASHAM QADASH. Shalom.